Welcome back to my channel. Here's how to sew an open back leotard. Most of you are probably coming from my Etsy shop where you just bought your open back leotard pattern, and if you haven't, I'll link it below, but don't forget to save this video. Step 1, cutting. Once you have all 3 pieces of your pattern, you're gonna get your 4-way stretch fabric and cut it out. For me personally, I've been doing this for a while, so I just put a weight on the pattern so it doesn't really move, and then I cut it out. I used to pin it down to the fabric though, which I would recommend if you're newer to sewing. Now we have our 3 pieces cut out, the front, the back top, and the back bottom. Step 2, putting the front and the back together. First, make sure your pattern pieces are right sides together. The way you want to align the side seams is first take the front and the back side seams where the armpit meets and pin it. Then you're going to take the back bottom and align the side seam at the hip and then go up and pin. So then you're going to have this gap area, which is the open back. You can also pin at the shoulders and the crotch, just don't sew over your pins. In this video, I will be using a serger and a cover stitch machine, but I will reference how to do it with a home sewing machine. As you're sewing the side seam like I am here, you're just going to keep going on that one layer up into the top back. For a home sewing machine, I think the easiest stitch would be a straight stretch stitch. Say that 3 times fast. And you will sew at 1/4 of an inch. So I have a little sewing trick for you that I actually didn't realize I could do until far later than I should have realized. If you're using a serger, you can stitch off of your fabric a little bit and then just go ahead and put the next seam in there so you don't have to take it off, cut it, and then put it back in. If you're using a home sewing machine, make sure those fabrics are butted up together. There can't be space in between the fabrics. But just go ahead and do this for all of your seams and then take the whole piece off and cut it, and then you're going to cut apart each of the little sections because right now they're going to be all together, so you need to cut those apart. Ah! Oh my gosh, it's not... And this is just your friendly reminder to always keep an eye on your thread. So my thread wasn't going through, something messed up. It even happens to people who are really good at what they do. Not to brag, I'm not trying to be cocky, okay? So like I was saying, you sew them all together and then at the end you take it off, cut it, and then you're gonna have to cut apart each one, which I feel like is way easier and better time management. Okay, so now we have our front and our backs all sewn together, and now we are ready for elastic. I like to use 3/8 of an inch wide elastic. Some people like to use 1/4 of an inch, but I just feel like it's too small and it really digs more. The elastic measurements for the arms, legs, neck, and the back hole is in the pattern packet. If you haven't purchased my pattern packet, that's okay, I'll link it below, or there is another way. You can measure a bra and underwear elastic and use that measurement, or you can actually measure with a tape measure where the elastic would hit on your body, but just remember you have to take away like an inch or 2 because the elastic has to be smaller than your body so that it will be secure. Moving on to pinning the elastic to the leotard. If you are newer, I would recommend sewing the 2 ends of the elastic together before pinning it to the leotard. So just overlap them about 1/4 to 5/8 of an inch and then sew them together. I've been doing this for a while, so I actually skipped that step. And then that elastic seam will go next to a seam. It doesn't really matter which one. And then if you choose to skip the step of sewing the elastics together, make sure you're pinning that really well. Okay, so here's the hardest part of making the leotard, I feel. I'm going to show you first here on the arm, and then I will do the open back part. You will only be pinning at the seams. So we already pinned one of the seams, now we need to do the second one. To do this correctly, we need to realize that the front arm part is a different size than the back arm part, which means there won't be an even ratio of the elastic to the front and the back. And that's what we gotta figure out. However, I will say depending on the type of fabric that you have will kind of dictate whether the elastic seems to be the same size as the hole or if it seems a little smaller than the hole. But when it comes to the leg hole, definitely the front is way longer than the back. Now, just to get a starting point, you can figure out where the halfway mark is on the elastic elastic and then pinch that with the seam. You will then pinch each of the seams on the armhole. Then you're going to stretch the elastic until the fabric is even with it. If one side of the elastic seems to be pulling way more than the other side, then you need to adjust it. And vice versa. If one side seems to be too loose, then you need to adjust. You want both sides of the elastic to be an even stretch. And then pin the elastic at the other seam. I know some of you are probably like, can't you just give us the front measurement and the back measurement? And I feel like that's definitely an option. However, once you understand this pulling method, it's going to be a lot faster than having to measure it out, pin it, and then pin the elastic to the leotard. And the good news is the back opening is way more easier than the other openings. We're going to go ahead and pin the elastic seam to the bottom left. And then we're going to get our starting point for the elastic by figuring out where the halfway mark is. Easy peasy, this is how I get the halfway mark, and then we're going to pin it to the top right. I will lay it down for you so you can see exactly where I pinned it. So I didn't pin it on the side seams, I went in a little bit. Now we want to figure out how much elastic we want on the side seam. For me, I just pick a starting point and then I do the pinch pull method. Of course, you want the elastic just a little bit less than the fabric. And really, if you want to measure how much elastic that was, just do that on the other side. Now we just need to see if the top and bottom elastics are a good ratio and that they have the same amount of stretch, because you want the top and the bottom elastics to have the same tightness. Now that we have the elastic pinned to the leotard, it's time to sew the elastic on. I will be using my serger, but for a home sewing machine, you can use a zigzag stitch. For this part, make sure that when you start off sewing that your needle will be down, because guess what? We're going to use the pinch pull method again. Because the elastic is shorter than the openings, you have to pull it when you're sewing. Right now, I'm sewing the neck and the needle is down at one seam and I am pinching the other seam. I'm pinching with my left hand and pulling until the elastic is even with the fabric. Once it is even, I'm going to take my right hand and pinch the elastic and fabric together. Then I need to let my left hand free so that I can guide it through the machine. I'm going to let go with my left and then I can guide it through. Remember, while you're sewing, you want to keep pulling the elastic so that it is even with the fabric. Now I can use my left hand to guide through the machine and then my left thumb to make sure the fabric is even with the elastic so it doesn't get cut off. The fabric, not my thumb. I mean, I don't want my thumb to get cut off either. Now you just repeat that whole thing again. The needle is down, pinch, pull, and guide. You can watch me finish the neckline, or you can head to 9 minutes and 10 seconds to start on the back. For adding the elastic to the back, there's nothing different except because it's going from the back to the side seam, that little curve, you really have to watch out and make sure that you're not missing the fabric. Sometimes it will miss the fabric, the needle will miss the fabric, and you're just sewing on the elastic and then you kind of have a hole. So just be extra careful. But everything is still the same: pinch, pull, and guide. I'm going to continue the elastic for the open back, but if you want to skip ahead, skip to 10 minutes and 57 seconds. This is what the open back elastic looks like once it's all finished. Also, I would like to point out that normally I would not use white thread, but I just did it in this scenario so you guys can see. Now finally, for the last step, step 5, top stitching. If you do not have a cover stitch machine, you can also use a zigzag stitch. Flip over the elastic inwards and then put it under your foot. For me personally, I use the holes underneath to guide me where I want to sew. And I usually put my fabric about right here. And then once again, we're going to use the pinch pull method, except I'm going to add in a little element. First, with your right hand, you're going to pinch and pull until the elastic is even with the fabric. It should look pretty smooth, but you don't want to pull too much. Then with your left hand, you're going to guide it forward, but you're also going to pull the fabric to the left a little bit. This is so that the fabric is wrapping around the elastic pretty taut. Okay, so now there's only one more slightly tiny element that I want to add into this. So we have our right hand pulling towards us, which means our left hand needs to guide it through the machine, but also to the left so that it is flat. The extra small little element that I want to add into this step only is, with your left hand, you're not only guiding it forward because you're literally pulling it to yourself, you have to guide it forward. You kind of want to take your fingertips and also guide it through the needle. So if you watch kind of carefully when I'm sewing, you can see my pointer finger and my thumb is not only guiding it, but kind of pushing it through the needle a little bit. This helps prevent those little waves and wrinkles that end up between the thread and the edge of the fabric. And it's definitely more prone to happen with lighter weight fabrics like this mesh. And honestly, my best advice would be to practice. Just practice guiding through your fabric really hard and then really soft, and then try to find a happy medium. That is the only way that you're going to really try and find how hard or soft you need to push your fabric through. Feel free to jump to 14 minutes and 12 seconds to see the final result. And here is the final top stitching. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'm pretty good at replying. And if you want to get a little bit more serious, you can also join my membership. It's on my YouTube channel. I hope you learned something from this video, and thanks for watching.